Fantastic.
All right.
Welcome, brother.
Thank you. Good day to you.
Good day to you, too.
Good day to us all.
Yeah.
May it always be a good day.
Oh, my first podcast in the Tipi, man.
All right. Yeah, spaceship.
Yeah.
Here on the Earth.
Here on Earth.
Yeah.
We had a lovely ceremony yesterday.
We did.
Peyote.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sacred cactus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're going to have one tonight?
I think so.
I think so.
Looks that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we found each other not last night,
days
but
ago.
yeah, a couple of days ago.
Yeah. How did we find each other? How were we found?
We were building a toilet.
That's right. Shamanic janitors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
And it went pretty fast before we understood. We talked, who are you?
Yeah, yeah.
And then,
and then here we are.
Yeah, there you are. So we had some lifetimes together.
Many lifetimes.
Probably, yeah.
This is a synchronicity we recognized pretty soon after we became into each other's
energy.
Field, energy. Yeah.
Because we have a lot of stuff in common.
Yeah.
Because we both grew up with the skateboard era, the snowboarding, the punk rock, the good stuff, the weed, the everything.
All the things to keep you distracted in life.
Yeah.
And having fun.
And now we're here.
There we are.
Because we've been on a path for a while now.
Yeah.
You've been on a pretty far on ride for a long time, huh?
Yeah.
What happened? How did you end up here?
In this moment, or in this life, in this ceremony, in this experience. Well, I had the addiction of adrenaline at a young age, as you did.
Yeah.
We have in common, and going to the levels of extreme to test the boundaries, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Growing up with older brothers, finding an exciting life in things that were risking my life.
Yeah.
Pushing that edge.
Yeah.
And going to the edge and over there a couple times.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I through that really had some exciting experiences, yet also pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
Which today I'm as I look at it all in the big picture, I'm really grateful for. The gratitude, wow, things that you get tested by and you get injured by and you suffer through and you have to wake up from.
Yeah. And go out and again as well.
Yeah.
Especially with the snowboarding and the skateboarding,
Yeah.
And we were kids, so we didn't care.
Yeah, not caring. Yeah, growing up skateboarding, doing anything to be a rebel.
Yeah.
Skating in front of cars as fast as you could and off buildings and all these things. And I was skateboarding a lot in the Bay Area and surfing. And
because you're from California, right?
Yeah, Central California boy, Lake Tahoe to Santa Cruz area.
All right.
And the dream of as high as I could fly and as long as I could go kind of thing. And pretty reckless. Yeah. Very extremely reckless. Didn't have a good attitude toward things. Excited about life, but not really a respectful attitude. Had a terrible diet. I was, living on Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, and Snickers for most of my life. Burritos from Taco Bell and hamburgers from McDonald's. Yeah. And no connection with the creator, source, anything bigger than myself. I thought it was rubbish, And I just had an attitude about things. And I kind of was in the unconscious response in life to how much adrenaline I could push through my body.
Yeah, get it, and that gets it's an addiction.
Yeah, it is. It's actually, as I've studied now, because I'm a dietary nutritionist, cleansing therapist, colonhydrotherapy, and parasite and liver flesh specialist, that adrenaline is the most addictive substance to the human body.
It is, huh?
Yeah. And it toxifies your liver more than any substance you can take in.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Hardcore, huh?
Yeah, it puts us into perspective.
It does. And but like we also talked about, is none of us should be standing up, walking around.
Oh yeah, we're both. As I've heard of your experiences, mine were kind of miracles.
Kind of miracles,
to be walking and somewhat healthy and not in pain all the time.
Not in pain at all. Yeah. But I think, at least for my part, is when I broke my neck like proper, that was what pushed me or led me into my spiritual path.
Yes.
Because they like, okay, we tried this, you won't fucking listen. We tried this, all right, we take his neck.
Yeah.
Sit the fuck down,
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
go inside.
Mm-hmm.
And that also, but before that, I was starting to think about my diet. All right, like, okay, starting to get hints, like, okay, this way, if you do this, oh, that feels better. Mm-hmm. But when I broke my neck, it was just day and night, whack. Okay, meditated for a year, and then everything started, and then everything goes with each other, obviously.
Yeah.
So the more I start healing my body with food, to put it like this, and meditation, all that, led me even further. And then ayahuasca, using plant medicine, all this, and then. Yeah. But now, if I eat something wrong now, instant fucking pay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to pay right there.
Requires you to pay attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that about the body, actually. It's such a perfect response system. And the more we pay attention to it, the more it attunes us to where our attention is, and then aligning our intention.
Yeah.
Right? And if we're off course with our intention, we're usually off course with our attention is focused elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that also, again, but our path with the adrenaline and all the skateboarding, snowboarding, music, just punking, rock and rolling, drugs, the food. Like you said, we had to do that to come here, obviously.
Yeah.
But also find it fascinating how we did survive that. How powerful the body is to take all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a lot of shit in every sense of the word.
Yeah.
How do you explain that?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. What a mystery.
Yeah.
The resiliency of I feel like it brought more awareness and presence to my spirit. Mm-hmm. And my spirit was more outside of my body, is what it felt like, because I wasn't paying attention, right? We were in this extreme level. And the adrenaline, it pushes this energy that expands your energy body, makes you feel like you're outside of your body. Yeah. And then these course of events of injuries or extreme experiences called me to get more in my body.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that embodiment, I feel like, I was stubborn. I was the worst. I wouldn't pay attention, and I kept getting injuries or health issues, and I kept just having to humble down from this experience or this injury. I remember 3 summers in a row I had a cast on this arm, broken. Doctors say, it's going to be 9 weeks with this because you've broken it the second time. I'm at 3 weeks. I'm sawing off. I gotta
exactly.
Skateboard. I got to keep going, and this volition, this perseverance of this pursuit of this certain energy. Yeah. And I believe it was something that my grandfather would tell me, he'd say, grandson, it's the power beyond the mind, it's beyond you. And I'd really think about that and go, there's this power that's beyond my mind. And of course I used it to actually heal my bones quicker. I'd saw the cast off and my mom was like, I'm skateboarding again and falling on it. And sit with it and heal, and then go to the doctors and they're going, wow, how is this possible that you're healed already? You cut the cast off at when? And this shouldn't have been healed, And it was this kind of, I also attribute it to the adrenaline. It has healing power. Oh, yeah. Right? How many injuries have we gotten where you broken just as your neck, right? And you're riding your Harley to the hospital, maybe get it checked out a couple days later, and they're going, sit down. And you go, okay.
Done and then I went on tour 3 or 4 days later.
Yeah. Did that, and the same. I had so many of these experiences that after the course of realizing how serious it was and maybe the adrenaline wore off, that I just maybe need to pay attention a little bit more. And the more and more as I went on through my age, the more and more injuries I got, it helped me slow down and actually see how precious life is.
It is. Yeah. But I suspect, I don't know, but I suspect that I did not expect to turn 20. Yeah. And then when I turned 20, I just definitely not going to be 25.
That's the same thing. I never said. I said I'd die before I was 40. I was
100%. Yeah. So, but in that, it's also a sense of awareness and being at what the Buddhists try to teach us is be in the moment.
Yeah.
Be right here, right now.
How in the moment were we with
like
everything?
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Because I can die in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And I'm going for it.
Yeah. We may need something to wake us up to bring us present, but then we were also right in that moment.
Yeah, that's
that
what I mean.
trick or that
because you're so present.
Yeah.
So that has something to do with all this.
Yeah.
And I'm also a great believer of that we needed those lessons to be these men that we are 100%. Right now, sitting here in this community, getting all the respect and all the what can you call it? Just being a part of this and be able to and get the respect to be able to do what we do, and to be a part of what we're part of.
Right, and noticing maybe that acknowledgement from others. Maybe we feel maybe as a respect, but it's because we've actually learned how to really respect life.
Exactly.
And respect ourselves. And that's a journey within itself. So many people that I work with, coach, counsel, I sit ceremony with, they're really not respecting themselves or respecting everyone else or acting like they're respecting, or they believe this humility that they're being humble by putting themselves below others. And that was a big journey for me for a lot of years.
Me too.
Seeing people as more, or they've done more, they have more value.
Yeah, like rock stars and
or ceremony people.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Took me a long time as well. I tried to be humble, not. Wasn't that good at it.
Yeah, right. That trying is where we put ourselves down. And a lot of people, I feel in this day and age, especially with ceremonies, because they try and have so much reverence and respect and this build up of energy, that they're belittling themselves in the name of humility. Yeah.
But that also goes with all the rock star shamans, though.
Yeah, that's true.
That's just in it for the rock stardom. That's not shamans. Everybody's shamans these days. But it's. So, but I never been this humble. But it's. I told my girl the other day that I never been this kind of humble. Because I'm really humble. Because I was one of those when took the medicine. They call it in Peru and wherever they say, do you want normal or Viking, Fred? So it was Viking, of course. It drank more than the others. It's bigger, tougher, blah 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 blah. And then ayahuasca kicked my ass. But it took 10 to 15 years before she really did it. And then said, all right, this is the jungle, motherfucker. And after that, I just, a little bit scared now every time. Like, ooh.
It keeps you humble.
Yeah, right? Super humble.
Yeah.
And also the call it the missions that I'm getting. Being the firekeeper, getting all this. What do you call it? Assignments? No, that's not right. Pardon my French, but my English. But
duties.
Duties. Duties. That's a better word. And that also, before I probably would have rock starred me up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the
built us up to think we're something more.
Yeah. But none of that now, and that's probably why I got the task. Not ready before you're ready, and you don't know before you know.
Yeah, right. And then when you're ready and you know, then you really know that you don't know anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Right there. Right there.
Yeah, like, all right.
That's humble.
Yeah, that's humble.
Yeah, that's a good
one. It's a good place. But it's a good place to be, but it's also not scary, but it's
continual training. Right?
Yeah. But more than ever ready for it, I think. But still, it brings me back to, I think we needed all these crashes and all these parties and all this. Because we're a couple of hardcore dudes. And the hardcore dudes need more beating than the nice boys.
A little stronger lessons to help us pay attention a little more. And this is kind of something I keep coming back to in life. These lessons that we learn, is something about paying attention. And this is the big question I work with a lot of people. And I contemplate every day is pay attention to what? What is this that we're here to pay attention to? And some people think, it's my diet or my kids or my job, but there's something bigger. And this is the whole point that I felt my life was about, that I didn't realize and I didn't want to believe, and all these things kept happening to me. And the thing of this is that everything that kept happening to me, I believed it was happening to me.
That's what I was about to say.
Me,
Yeah, not for, because it's not happening to you.
Yeah.
It's happening for you. And when you understand that,
this is when you start coming out of it, or it could be.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah. And for a lot of my life, I realized and admit humbly that I felt like I was a victim. I felt like I was a victim when my first traumas as a young man, and when my father left, and and then it was anger, and it was
so much anger,
so much just this regret and resentment.
Yeah.
And this is studying psychosomatic therapies and healing arts for the last 20 years. This is one of the biggest leaks of energy out of your energy body,
anger,
emotionally, anger and resentment, and regret.
Regret.
And they actually create a compression in your organs, and especially your liver. Liver is imprinted with your anger and regret and resentment. Feed this, and it actually feeds adrenaline into your body. So you're toxifying your liver by adrenaline, as it's the most toxic substance for the human body. And it's the most addictive as well. So this is a false sense of rush or energy that we think we're getting a lot, even in these men's groups, or the masculine energy, or men, and even women. They feel like, I have all this anger, I need to move it, and screaming out. Yeah, that can work and be helpful. But the continuation of that, you're actually getting pumped with a lot of adrenaline.
Yeah, so you get this addiction of it, and because when you told me this yesterday, I was like, well, that resonates.
Yeah,
I was so angry, so angry, but again, it was got my shot.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
After I got my shot, I was like, calm.
Yeah, a lot of people think, I've cleared my anger, I'll move it. But then there's this unconscious connection.
It's just another shot.
It's just another shot. Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah, and I've studied this actually too in a lot of therapies, but also my life study that there's a lot of teachings about anger and fear. Yeah, and anger and fear are part of which can hold us back. But they're like our life lessons, right? If we can actually recognize them as that they've happened for us, and they are actually our power trying to return to us. But it's masked in a field of judgment. It's energy, but we see it as an emotion.
Yeah.
Right? And the psychology of human awareness, often we see energy as emotion, which is somewhat of a guidepost, but it's actually in a field of judgment. It's just, if you can get down to it and actually see it without judgment, it's just energy. It's like if you're getting a really hard massage, you're going, this is hurting, ow. But if someone teaches you, or you learn to just breathe into it and absorb it, it's just energy.
Yeah.
All right? So there's the same with fear and anger. If we can recognize it as, wow, this has happened to me, or it happened for me in my life to create this experience, because I'm accountable for my life and I put myself in this position to create this experience, and now I'm angry from it. Recognizing the anger, that it's here to teach us, and that it's our power trying to return to us. And a lot of these emotions, such as fear and anger, they run our lives. They're guiding us. And if we can recognize we're being ran around by our belief systems and our subconscious and the unconscious reality, then how would we guide our life in a better way? And my theory, and others in this practice, is bring that awareness of that fear or anger into the conscious mind. Be present to it. Get it into the conscious mind, but also in the conscious body.
Yep.
And they do this with tracking with a lot of healers or people. I'm conscious of my anger. I'm conscious of my anger. And they'll even have people repeat it, because repetitiveness is what sticks in the human mind.
Yep.
And the patterning, if negative or positive, will make it come into the conscious mind. So you'll become conscious of it. When you become conscious of it, then you can track actually in your conscious body. Oh, wow, I've gotten conscious of the anger, and I feel it right here now. Oh, that's where that anger is. Well, that's your gallbladder.
Yeah.
That's right under the liver. That processes all the deepest anger you can get through, right? So then you tune into this gallbladder, and then you can be conscious of healing this organ physically or emotionally and sending it love, right? So it all connects that way.
It all connects, but it's also, it's what we thought, right?
Yeah.
It's what they've been teaching us.
Yeah, and what we think we are.
Yeah, what we think we are, exactly.
Yeah.
And as a father, I try to teach this to them instead of call it the wrong teaching.
Yeah.
But it's not easy either, you know. In situations, you haven't slept for 4 days, and you're like, and then still try to be this new father, to put it like this. But also you come from, you're half Indian, aren't you?
Yeah, I have Blackfoot Cherokee blood.
Yeah.
My grandmother was quarter blood, and so I always had a.
So they try to teach you this stuff, probably, like you said earlier. Like,
Well, not actually. My grandmother and grandfather and their background, you know, where they came from and grew up, they didn't want anybody to know they were Indian. They always denied that they had Indian blood.
Because of
It was
racism, to put it like that. Yeah,
racism, and if you were part Indian, boy, you wouldn't fit into the white crowd, you know. So they were not proud of it. It was hidden, and it was just dug up from my family, you know, not too many years ago. And they were not proud of it. They were ashamed to have Indian blood, but I always had this fascination with the Native Americans. I'd go, my grandfather would take me way out in the woods, and what are we doing out here? We're going fishing, but I wanted to show you this feel the nature, feel the spirits out here. Yeah. You know, when I was really young, my blood father, he would bring me out, and just some of my earliest memories of going out to these, I don't want to go out here, walk all the way out in the woods, and it would come on this giant rock, and there's this grinding stone. Well, somehow there was this connection with my family, and I was always fascinated by it. And I grew up with the cowboys in Northern California, but it was still cowboy country, and I was always confused if I was the cowboy or the Indian. I was shooting arrows, and they're shooting me with guns, but I wanted the boots, and I had the hat, and they're going, "What are you?"
Yeah, I was the same.
Kind of a half mix.
Half mix. Yeah. Okay, so they didn't teach you these teachings.
No, they
or
didn't.
try to. All right.
No, they had just a very strict kind of. Demeanor about them, but very playful. My grandfather basically raised me, and I called him a spirit talker, and he would talk to spirits and tell us these stories about other lifetimes when he was a butterfly and when he was an Indian. Now this one got me. I said, wow. And he'd take the grandkids out and just tell us these crazy stories. You know?
But you looked at them as stories, call it like stories, not like...
Yeah. I believed him.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a great storyteller, and half the time I didn't know if he was telling the story was true or if he just made it up to entertain us.
Yeah, that's what I mean, you know.
Yeah, it's the mystery of that. And I love that about stories. And it's funny to come on through after the years snowboarding and skateboarding. I mean, I had so many injuries I couldn't even count how many times the skateboard flipped out from under us, right? And just smacked your head on concrete and ring in, and it was concussion. But then 5 minutes later, okay, get back on the board. Or big air on the snow and land on the ice, kablam, and wait for 5, 10, 15 minutes till everything's better, and then just keep going. You know, later in the day, I'm driving home, and I'm like, oh, wow, there's blood coming down my head. And then I couldn't see straight for a day or two all of a sudden, and I just wipe it off. Wipe it off. And that's a very interesting thing, you know. Medical practitioners, health practitioners that I worked with over the years, I have a disfigured skull, misshapen skull in the back, and the cracks all over my head, and they're going, wow, how are you even functioning mentally? And I probably 20, 30 maybe really bad concussions, probably 50 minor head injuries, and then so through these years, you know, I'm going about my life and having these crazy experiences, and you know, part-time in my middle-aged junior high and high school, I'd have head injuries, and then I'd feel like I was a different person, and I wouldn't think right. I couldn't do school or whatever. Go snowboarding again the next month and have this terrible injury, and all of a sudden I'm back. You know, and then I was having to really watch myself and to be really honest with myself, because my earlier years in my 20s, I was having these great, powerful experiences, very shamanic, and I'll get into a little bit. It's telling some of these stories, and I'm realizing as it's coming out of my mouth, I'm exaggerating them. You know, and I'm hearing my grandpa talking through me and him fibbing a little bit. And these stories got very exaggerated. I've got all the people's attention, and I'm getting all this attention and energy. And then, wow, okay, cool. And I stop and I go, I don't really feel that good about myself. I don't really want the attention. Why am I doing this? And I really had to face this part of being honest. And I realized it was part of my head injuries. You know, and it was something that it would almost change my personality. And then I'd tell these stories, and I'd catch myself telling the stories the same way that weren't exactly true. They were expanded.
Exactly the same for me. Exactly the same.
And when I got into the ceremonial way and started asking for help in a bigger way for major health issues and things that I had, I really had to look at that. And the medicines would kick my ass. They would humble me and pull on my stomach and make my head think about these stories and like someone going, look at what you're saying.
Yeah.
Look at the truth of
Yeah.
who you are. And
Yeah.
it was, wow, very humbling, very humbling. And so now I've been a little more, well, actually a lot more honest with myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like...
And others, obviously.
And others, yeah, too. You know, we aren't honest with ourselves, we can't really be honest with other people. And being honest with ourselves, being truthful with ourselves, I feel is what really, on a base level, which makes us feel safe.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So, and I'm all about safety.
And that's also call it the regret. And after telling these stories, but it's also a sense of insecurity, obviously, you know, like...
Yeah. Security level, insecure. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I also felt the same way, like, why are you doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Why are you telling this? It's the truth, but it's a little bend.
Yeah.
To make it fit, or make it this or that, or for the other person that you're telling it to,
This
so
is
it
true.
fits them better, so they can take it.
Yeah.
Or
And,
like,
it creates a little disorientation
Yeah,
too.
it does.
You get disoriented from who you actually are.
Yeah.
And as we're becoming older and growing and evolving and maturing and learning, if we're not in this clarity of precise truth and honest with ourselves, we don't grow and evolve and mature in a whole, complete way. And this is something my elders had taught me, was this energy about being honest with yourself relates to how well you're growing and evolving, right?
absolutely.
And so that comes down to where I was going, wow, I help with ceremonies, I'm learning from these natives and these things, and I didn't feel safe from my background growing up, and because I was always, out of control, not being conscious of my actions and present. And then I got really kind of sad about it, because I started witnessing other people in the New Age spiritual world that weren't helping other people feel safe. And so I would step in. I would be this guy, you know? And it really made me pay attention to how I was thinking, how I was feeling, how I was acting, and presence.
Yeah.
So I was practicing presence. And I feel like this is a big part of, what one of my elders calls adulting.
Yeah, but you told me this yesterday, and I loved it. Like, exactly what it is.
Yeah.
You're adulting, you said. I was like, am I? Yeah.
At least becoming.
Yeah.
Best to be there.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
always kids at heart.
Yeah. Oh,
keeps
yeah.
us young, but being the honest person.
Yeah, the honest, safe person.
Yeah, honest, safe person.
Cause that's,
Yeah. Yeah, it's very reciprocal.
But how would all the, I told you when I was riding with Terry Hawkins. And
my hero you used to snowboard with.
Yeah. But again, then you told me about all my heroes that you were hanging out with.
Right.
But what I'm coming to is how, because again, when we start talking yesterday about, what we're done and who we are, and in a way, you're the first person I met with that story. So how is it going with them boys? Do you know?
Yeah.
Are they on some kind of path, or they still rock and roll?
A lot of them are pretty much still rock and roll.
Yeah.
I pulled out of that pretty earlier than you.
Yeah.
Luckily.
Yeah.
From some of the injuries, the broken shoulders, collarbones, neck, elbows, hip, foot, these big falls that go, maybe you're getting a little old. I was getting too tall to spin and flip. And so I ended up going over to Hawaii, and I had contact with some of the guys from Tahoe, and actually about 10 years ago I was in San Diego, and I run into this guy and tells me about one of my guys, my bro, Sean Palmer, and where he's at, and Noah Slesnick, these famous pro snowboarders that I looked up to. And
me too.
We were working to get on these teams and get these sponsorships, and that was going to be our whole life.
Yeah.
It was like
and it was the whole life for a lot of boys.
It was both of us from 7-8 years old.
Yeah.
That's quite an experience in life to start that kind of adrenaline at that age, and to have that kind of fun and this sense of power.
And have that goal as well, because I felt unbeatable, untouchable.
100%. No one could touch me.
And it was good, not good money, but it was good. We paid for all the fun.
Yep.
It was good. But Terry, he always been very conscious. Very in center. With his body, with what he eats.
This is mastery.
Yeah, he's been a true master the whole time. He wasn't like us boys, like hardcore.
Unfortunately, I was around the California boys. It was a lot of cocaine and alcohol, hard bottles. This is my whole bottle of whiskey, and So I started seeing this, coming to the edge of high school, and I was going to be a professional athlete. I had offers to be a professional baseball player. I mean, I was doing football with pads on it also at 8 years old through high school. All head injuries, just football,
brutal.
baseball constantly, and catcher, so my knees, snowboarder, my knees, hit by baseballs, bats, all the things. It was like, how is this guy always in the way of something colliding into his head or his body? Usually breaking something. But I'm good. No, I broke my jaw twice. I'm good. It's wired, but I can still play. Or I can still, But I decided to, the path brought me to going on Grateful Dead tour. I dropped out of high school.
Oh, Deadhead, huh?
Decided to go toward music and just give up sports. And my family was they couldn't believe it. And I said, I'm rebelling. I'm done,
Yeah.
And long story short, I went on Grateful Dead tour, and I was doing too many kind of things that you're not supposed to be doing that much when you're in high school. And my bro helped me out, and I was also into LSD, and he said,
because that was, I'm not going to cut you off now, but to continue, but it was a question. I'm doing it later.
Okay.
Continue.
Bookmark.
Yeah.
And so I got clear, I'll just say, from a lot of things by going on Grateful Dead tour, and used other things to get clear. A lot of LSD. Anytime I was unclear or going through this stress or this other life, my brother, a friend of mine, Turtle, he's the Turtle Man.
Good old Turtle.
Dreadlocks, hippies. We had our patchwork pants and, doing anything and everything. We'd do a lot of LSD. And I would sit and feel the music coming at me and just relax and start feeling, wow, there's another life out here. Of course, I was in high school at the time, but it's a big world when you come out of high school, really big. So I went back to high school after 3.5 months of dropping out, and I thought, I'd never go back, I'm done. But I thought, maybe I should graduate with my class, and graduate my junior year. Went back to high school, and it was like I had never left. No tardy notice. I had one absentee notice. It's going, whoa, and I was in this other world. Like, wow. And
how old are you then?
I was 17.
Yeah.
And then still going back into the mountains with my brothers about every other weekend and every weekend during the summer in Lake Tahoe, jumping off giant bridges. We had this giant train trestle. It was 50, 60 feet above the water, and about 30 feet up was the iron train trestle, and they'd tie a rope at the bottom of the bridge, and we'd climb up to the top of the train trestle and dive head first, swing under the bridge and let go, and on LSD, kind of thing. Crazy. Talk about extreme.
Yeah.
And so I was doing this throughout the weekends, and went back to high school, made the starting catcher and outfielder for the team, had all these scouts hitting home runs at tryouts, and they're saying, yeah, we want you, and the coaches, you're starting, and then I said, I quit. And they're like, I just wanted to prove to myself.
Yeah.
So I ended up, just lots of skateboarding, lots of art and music during my senior year, punk band, and
drugs.
Yeah. And graduated high school, saved up to hitchhike around the United States. And I started going to rainbow gatherings just with my thumb, a mandolin, and my backpack. And I just found this other world. A lot of people that were on Grateful Dead tour. Yep. And I found this world of spirituality. And started exploring this connection of community and alternative worlds. And after a couple of years of doing that, learning a lot, going on tours, and just my own volition, I said, where do I want to go and live? And this right here will get me to where I want to go, and I believe in that. And I started believing in something for the first time other than my adrenaline, or I can do this trick, or I can do this. And something kind of bigger opened up in my field. And it told me, I came back to Tahoe, and I got this great job. I was going to be, head tech at this amazing snowboard mountain. I finally got this great job, and we're waiting for snow. It's just raining, and I'm living on Lake Tahoe. I had this great place, and ended up just not having any snow. So I bought my ticket to Hawaii. This bro showed up, said, hey, bro, I got a surfboard. I got $200. I'm going to Hawaii. So bought a ticket to Hawaii, $200, and hitchhiked around Hawaii. Started surfing, and ended up on the west side of Hawaii, and met a bunch of hippie kids, started playing music with them, and lived in this house and with them. You want to rent a room? Okay, cool. Yeah, well, there's this other woman. She just, last week, she moved in too, so there's 2 beds in the house. And I didn't know her really well, but she's really cool, nice woman, sister, and we were playing music and partying, surfing, and she comes to me one day and she says, hey, I want to let you know that I'm on heroin.
Dude.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
And I need
Keep
help.
on talking. I'm gonna just.
Yeah. And so she says,
fix it to the fire.
yeah, she says, I need some help. And I said, well, what do I do? And she says, well, will you just lock me in the bedroom all day? And when you come home from work, will you maybe make some food and help me and feed me and just don't let me out of the room. You know, I got a bathroom in there. Don't give me any drugs. Don't do anything I say. But if you can just help me do this. I thought, wow. You know, something inside of me said, help her. Yeah. And it was the first time that I actually felt this inclination to really help someone to not get anything for it. You know, and it changed my reality. And I started feeling this sense of doing something good, something worthwhile, something in my life that had meaning. And it was like, I'd come home from work and come into the room and make her some food and calm her back down, bring her to bed. She'd be on the floor or something. And then, so she'd finally get her to sleep, and I'd go about my business, and I'd finally go to bed. And then each night I'd wake up in the middle of the night in this shock. It was like in my dreams I kept having this, it was in darkness and I was having lightning storms happening, and wow, it was very intense, and I'd wake up every night, this shock, and there she was wrapped around my body, clinging to me, and she was detoxing and sweating on me, and I was covered in sweat, and she's talking in voices and crying, and I'm wow, okay, and I'd comfort her a little bit. I'm covered in her sweat, pick her back up, put her back in her bed. So night after night after night, she kept doing this, and I kept telling her, don't get into bed with you. You need to stay in bed. I'd even wrap her up in blankets, try and put pillows on her, cover her up. She'd go to bed and kind of stay up waiting, and I'd wake up an hour later. She's still in her bed. Okay, and then I'd finally fall asleep, and I'd be freaking out in this dream in darkness and in lightning. And I'd wake up, and she's around me again. Many nights in a row, she kept doing this. Well, it was maybe 5, I don't know, maybe more, 6, 7 nights. And then after this one morning, I woke up and she wasn't wrapped around me. And she came up to me and she said, I'm healed. And I went, wow, you're healed? She said, yeah, I'm good. I know it now. I never need heroin ever again. And I said, wow, congratulations.
That must feel strong for you as well.
So cool.
Yeah.
Wow, right on. And I started itching.
Yeah.
Scratching.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
the heroin itch, huh?
What is this? Oh, and I started getting these bites all over my body. And I started getting nauseous every day. Oh, I couldn't even hardly go to work. Whoa, what's going on? Oh, geez. My arms started getting covered in these bites. Wow, and I talked to my friend, hey, do you know what these are? They itch really bad. He goes, oh, that's scabies. You got scabies, man, and it's bad. You should have gotten help last month. I'm going, what do I do? And he's going, oh, just keep surfing, man. Salt water. So I push my hair back, my dreadlocks, and go surf every day and dry my skin out. Come home, put aloe on it. Aloe made it softer so they could travel more. So it kept getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So I'm sitting here not sleeping at night for maybe 2-3 weeks, scratching, and my bro goes, and I'm freaking out, and my bro says, you need to go to the hospital. Just go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor, and they give me this stuff. Put it all over your body, cover your whole body in it. And just let it dry on your body, then wash it off. Okay. I put it all over my body. Left it on overnight. Not supposed to do that.
Not supposed to do
Woke
that.
up in the morning. And it was worse. Well, this stuff was radioactive. And sulfur was the main ingredient. I'm allergic to sulfur.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So it started getting really bad. And I'm thinking, okay, this is getting terrible. So this guy gave me a bunch of Chinese medicine and adrenaline shot, and I started feeling a little better, and it got a little bit better. So I said, oh yeah, man, I surfed like 78 days. I was trying to go for 100 days. I'm gonna go out to the big waves on the North Shore. Went out on the north coast. No one out. Sunset, perfect, peeling 6-8 foot overhead, perfect barrels. Jumped in. Whoa, I'm going for it. Turned around. Oh, yeah. Jumped up. Caught the best barrel of my life. Glassy sunshine through. Oh, and just spraying me. Snapping the lip, pulling in. Pulled out of it. More adrenaline than I've ever felt in my entire life. My whole body went into shivers. Yeah. Pulled over the wave. Went right back out for this next wave. Well, it was bigger. Whoa, turn around. Go. Get in it. Oh, sucked me up. Threw me over the falls. Landed, the wave hit me. Boom, pushed me down. And it turned me around backwards, and the wave's pushing me, and my legs are dragging underwater, and thunk, coral reef. Right through my Achilles tendon. And I'm screaming underwater, taking in water. And I barely get my wave again. Oh my God, right at the edge of death. Just right, completely out of air. still underwater, gonna take a breath to suck in water, and I just totally relaxed and held this breath and felt myself sink. And I thought
you were there.
I was gonna die. And somehow my body came up and I took air in. And the wave didn't hit me yet, and I started getting enough air. Dragged myself in, and I look around, there's just blood all over the water. Oh my God, I'm going in. Ended up going back to my house, and there's a line up my leg, already staffing my blood. One of my roommates says, oh, we're going to treat this with Chinese medicine right away. He starts treating me. It's getting worse and going up my leg. So it's killing my immune system. My immune system dropping. I have staph in my blood from the coral. Mm-hmm. So it gets all the way up to here. My limbs swell up, and I'm throwing up, losing my bowels, just in bed, sweating, dying. And here comes the scabies again. Just starts taking over my body. Yeah. And I just totally started freaking out. Couldn't sleep again, scratching myself, trying to get up, in pain, all these things. Another 3 weeks, almost a month, I didn't sleep. And my brother's having a child at this time. I fly back over to the States, and I start traveling. Oh, I'm just going to go travel. I'll be okay. I'm with my dog, and the scabies gets worse. Another almost full month of not sleeping. So I end up at the Gorge in George, Washington State, the Gorge. Famous amphitheater. Mm-hmm. Giant bands have played there. Always wanted to go there. Come back down from Canada, and I land at the Gorge, and I'm sick. I'm dying. I could barely eat food. I'm almost just, lost 20, 30 pounds, walking dead. I see my friend. Hey, bro. Yeah, hey, man. Oh, you look terrible. What's going on? I don't know. Something's happening. Oh, yeah. So I follow him down to Washington, down to Kirkland near Seattle after the show. He's like, we'll stay at my mom's house for a couple days. Okay. And we're going to go to this rainbow gathering. Oh, okay, cool. And I'm not eating food. I'm barely drinking water. And I'm out. I'll help you load the van. No, you need to relax. I'm starting to help the van. I'll help you load the van. And everything went dark. Wow. And I'm thinking, this is kind of nice. Am I asleep or am I awake or am I dreaming? And I hear this boop, boop. Boop. Oh yeah, that sound. I remember that sound. Boop.
Yeah, I
remember. And I open my eyes, and I'm in the hospital, and I got plugs in me, and I'm in this plastic bag.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, where am I? Whoa, and I couldn't really see straight, and the doctors are coming in with their suits on. Looking. Hey, let me out of here. No, relax. Hey, let me out of here. And I start
freaking out.
Let me out of here. No, sir. We don't know what you have. You're quarantined here. We're gonna. No way. Rip him, get out of my way. We can't let you leave the house. You're not allowed to leave. Oh, yeah? And just like wolf spirit. Yeah. And they cleared the way. And my bro's going, hey, man, what are you doing? And I'm running out with my little smock on. He's grabbing my clothes. Yeah. Get me in the van. Driving me in. Get out of here. Okay, so he's driving me in. This is my big doozy that starts out my whole path, Yeah. I wasn't paying attention. And my energy body was really open. Yeah. So we get back, we're on the road, and I said, man, I am not here to suffer anymore. Almost, 2.5, maybe 3 months almost of not sleeping.
Hardcore suffering, man.
That, the human spirit can only endure so much with not sleeping. You can endure a lot of physical pain.
Yeah, but not sleeping.
There was a psychosis, mental breakdown that happened, emotional breakdown, nervous system damage. I had no idea if I was asleep or awake during the day. It was that much
zombie state.
It was a zombie state.
Yeah.
So we're driving, and I said to my bro, I'm done. I have a final request, and I'm serious. I looked him dead in the eyes, and I said, I need you to take me out into the woods as far away from society as you can and leave me. And he got scared. Said, man, you're here for a bigger purpose, man. No, I'm done. I am not here to suffer anymore. I gave him the whole story.
Like the dog. I'm going out in the
Leave
woods.
Me out with the dog through the compost. I said, take all my clothes off me, leave me by a tree, and let me compost. I literally, at that moment,
I'm done.
Decided that I'm done, and I'm here to let go. And I actually started feeling better. I'm letting go. And I felt my spirit kind of swang. I didn't feel the itching, the pain. Looked at my body. It was white blisters all over here, everywhere. Gotten inside my mouth. I mean, it was quite a thing. And so he said, okay, yeah, I'll do what you want. Stop bugging me. Okay, we're driving, yeah. But we got to go to my mom's house first and get all your things. And I'm thinking, I don't need anything. What are you talking about? No, we got to go to my mom's. I got to go there anyways. So he pulls up and leaves me in the van. Come on. And I'm like, no, I'm not going in there. And he comes out about 10 minutes later and he goes, bro, come here, come in. And something got me out of the car, and I walked up to the door, and the door opened. Boom. And it was like a fairy tale. Just this, like flowers come out of the door, and all this smoke bellowing. And I looked through the smoke, and it was this old woman with braids to her knees with a buffalo robe on, looking at big old glasses. Welcome home, grandson. She had eagle feathers and sage. Come here, we'll bless you up. Wow, and I started feeling really good. Huh. Who are you? She said, I'm Love. Didn't even recognize her, and it was his mom. I've been living in her house for 5-6 days. Had no idea it was her. She transformed. And she'd been working with medicines from all around the world for 25, 26 years, sailing on a sailboat by herself, gathering medicines from all over the world. She walked me into the house and walked me into her kitchen, and there's a big vat, a big pot, hot, boiling flames. She walked me up to it, and she lifted up the lid, and there's all these green cactuses bubbling around. I looked down, and whoa. She said, do you accept the almighty creator God back into your life? And I thought, that's a big question. I didn't know he was gone. I didn't even really think about the almighty creator being in my life. In that moment, I thought, oh, wow, there is something bigger than me. And I saw it in her, and she had this little sparkle in her eye. Looked at me. And she said, with this one here, it can help heal anything. And all you have to do with this one, say yes. Say yes. Say, come on. I was stubborn. Yes. Okay. Now, lay down. Pulled all my clothes up. Lay down. Okay, take all your clothes off. Okay, lay down. She peered at me. That woman put her hand into that boiling pot, pulled out this giant peyote button, started burning my wounds. All these blisters, popping them open. And, oh, what are you doing? Lay down now. Relax.
You were scared as fuck.
I was freaking out. What is this woman doing burning me with these plants?
Yeah.
But she kept doing it on the major blisters, and she'd burn them, pop them open, and that medicine would go right into me. 5 minutes, I was like completely medicined up, as they say.
Yeah,
On the medicine. Hello.
Yeah, hello there.
And this medicine is very pure alkaline. So these bites were very acidic, and my whole body went acidic, right?
Yeah, of course.
And the toxicity. So, long story short, she brought me into her healing room, walked me in there, laid me down. Well, I walked in, and I looked around. There's this full standing, that Arctic wolf you were telling me about, the polar wolf.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, 7 feet standing, stuffed in the corner of the room over here. There's a raven over in the corner over here. There's a bear over here. There's a falcon over here. And I look, and her whole room is these shelves with a feather and a stone and a picture and these little herbs and medicines all over. Wow. She said, yeah, I've been sailing all around the world, gathering all these medicines, boxes and herbs and instruments. And she said, nothing will come close to this one right here, this peyote medicine. Wow. She laid me down on the floor. She's looking at me, and I'm going, what's she going to do? She goes and grabs this wolf. There's this giant full stuffed wolf standing, and it had a hide on top of it. So it was under the stuffed giant wolf was this hide of a white wolf.
Wow.
Laid my arms up. Claws were longer than my hands on each side. These arms, huge. And the head was this big with the mouth open. She grabs it and the head's dangling, and she whips the head forward and goes, bam, hits me on the head on the ground, and the mouth's open like this. And right when it hit me, I'm on the ground, boom, fell asleep. Just passed out. Didn't even feel it, boom, hit me right there. And all of a sudden, I was conscious that I fell asleep for the first time, lucid. And I woke up, fully consciously awake, naked, sitting in the woods, leaning against a tree. And I went, did my bro do it? He actually fulfilled my wish. He left me out in the woods. Oh my, and I got so scared. My whole body went into shock, and adrenaline started rushing, and it got cold, and it was dark. And I'm sitting there, oh my God, and I look at this cave out in the woods, and it's windy and getting dark, and there's this cave over there, and I see these eyes peer out of the cave, start walking toward me. Wolf. Another wolf. 4 wolves start walking toward me, and they're going to kill me. They're going to kill me and eat me. This is as real could be. Walking right up to me, and they came up close to me, and I'm laying down, backing down, laid down, and they came up to me, growling, snarling, and my adrenaline, all the hair in my whole body was standing. My ears were boom, my eyes are vibrating, my whole nervous system, my heart pumping, felt like I was going to have a heart attack. Put my hands on my heart, and they start licking all my wounds. These giant tongues, sandpaper, scraping these blisters off. One came up here. I could feel as a male start pushing his teeth, opening his teeth, and licking me. I'm thinking, oh my God. And he's really sharp on my throat. And this other one walked over and started doing the thing on the other side. Female, black and white wolf. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And it starts biting harder and harder. And then it goes, this bottom teeth right through my Adam's apple. Oh. Breaks my neck. Blood squirts. My head flies back. I can feel it. And I wake up and I'm seeing the white wolf pelt comes off. And she goes, you're okay. You're okay.
I have to close the door if you want to
Yeah. Yeah, I completely believed that I was in the woods and this was happening. And I realized when I came back into this room, I realized that I was somewhere else. And the first thing I said to her was, how long have I been here? She laughs. How long have you been here? Well, you've been here about, looks up at the clock, 6 hours.
Lifetime, huh?
And I said, the story I just told you, the experience was about that long, maybe 5 minutes. So she looks at me and says, so now you know the difference, huh? And I said, what's that? And she said, in the dream world, the dream can feel like hours and hours and hours and hours a lot of times. But you wake up and it's maybe 5 minutes, Yeah. So she said when you're in a vision state, it's usually really fast, brief, but you can wake up and it can be hours and hours and hours and hours. And right then and there, my mental understanding reconnected the difference between a dream and a vision.
Yeah.
And then I locked into the reality, I'm in this moment, and that was a vision, and now I know the difference between a dream. And the nervous breakdown, the mental breakdown that I had, my mind reconnected. And I actually became aware that I was now in this moment. Because for not sleeping for 2.5 months, you really don't know what's going on if you're in a vision state or a dream.
You're in,
Totally different reality.
Yeah.
So that was a healing within that moment of me saying that, her explaining this to me.
Yeah.
Aside from all the medicine, she said, healing and medicine path is about accepting your lessons, accepting them, no matter how hard, how good or how bad, and learning from them.
Yeah, that's the point. It's and that's what I understood in my experience with it as well is, but that's the victim part about it. That's the easy part. But when you start looking at what can I learn from this? What is this happening to me that I'm going? What's this going to teach me?
Yeah. What am I going to get from this?
Yeah. What am I going to get from it? And
it.
then the whole thing's changing. All right. Yeah. And also when the things you want, to put it like this. Okay, I want this. The head thinks you want that.
Yeah.
And then you don't get it.
Yeah.
And then before I was like, fuck, I'm going to go. I'm going to get it. Mm-hmm. And then it's force that's keeping you from getting it. And like, fuck that,
Yeah.
But now I understood that. Okay, then it's something cooler around the corner.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, what can I learn from this? But also like, then I know I wanted that, but they got something cooler for me in store.
Yeah. Something better in store for me. Yeah. This comes with patience and presence. That old perseverance, like as the snowboarder punk energy, we can make it get anything. It doesn't really work in that way now.
No, it doesn't work in that way.
And I love the statement of, how is this here to help me?
Yeah.
This has been one of my most supportive things that I think about. Because if I'm not thinking that, majority of the time, I'm thinking it's working against me.
Yeah.
And that's victim consciousness.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many of us have this train of thought of how many things we go through in life that we are subjected to as being a victim, that we've been perpetrated.
Yeah.
But to heal this, really, it's actually simple. First, seeing that, I did this to myself, taking accountability, that we actually, the victim, once we've identified it at least, is actually our power that's trying to return to us that we've been in judgment of.
Absolutely.
And if we can see this through the eyes of the perpetrator, which is really hard to work with counseling men or women that have had trauma from men or sexual abuse or any of these things. But to really sit with it and presence it can really change our lives in a way that we can reclaim our lives and our power, and we can be in a practice of accepting the experiences that we've gone through and taking accountability for the experiences that we've put ourselves into.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And more I understand everything that's thrown at me. I understand that. All right, there's a reason for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now I try. Before it's gone, you know, like as the path, but
Stages.
yeah, stages of the path. It's before it took me some days after, like now, or months or years,
right?
like now I see.
Now I see why that whole thing didn't work out for me the way I wanted, the way I dreamed it. I moved my whole life here. The same thing that happened to me when I moved to Costa Rica. Yeah.
Dude, we need to have a part 2.
Let's do it.
Because people are getting ready for ceremony.
Yeah, and we're at a good point.
We're in a good point as well.
Thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, brother. It's such an honor.
Such a gift to know you.
I want to hear more.
Yeah.
We can have part 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 10.
If people are interested to hear it, we can talk.
We can talk. We can talk forever.
Yeah.
But again, I wanted to, I'm very happy we came up to your beginning of your path. Because that's such an important thing, and after that, it's just fairy tale.
Yeah, and it was the turning point. You know?
A turning point.
You
Yeah, that's
suffer
right.
so much, and it just really brought me to my knees to have to pay attention. You know, and once this woman introduced this medicine to me, because I was at a point where I couldn't even drink water anymore. My body was
you were
rejecting
done.
Water. So she gave me this medicine, sent me out in the woods then to eat this medicine and drink this medicine for 2 weeks. That's all I ate and drank. Yeah. And, you know, it alkalined my body, so I had a clearer thought, and it healed the acidic property of bacteria. And this is more what we want in life, a clearer state of being, you know. And sometimes we, like myself, I was so stubborn and rambunctious and didn't pay attention. We need things to wake us up and to help us pay attention to something bigger and greater. And this is what I feel when I'm in your presence. You carry this presence and attention to detail and care that really inspires me as a man, and I think and feel those that are listening to this or interested in your work can really benefit a lot from what you bring to the world, what kind of things you're bringing out of people, what you bring out of me, you know. And as we were talking when we first met, I'm going, wow, this guy's really bringing it out of me. I can really feel my authenticity more. So thanks for being that kind of person, that kind of man, that kind of father, that kind of friend to people, that they feel safe. And because you're so honest with yourself.
Yeah, I am.
You know? And I really
more and more
honor that. Yeah, well, it can always be more.
I'm working on it.
And accept and love at least where we're at now.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
I can truly say I love you, bro.
Yeah, I love you too, man. Thank you.
We have a ceremony to attend to.
We do.
I have a fire to keep.
Yes, and I got a drum to carry.
Yeah. All right, brother.
All right.
Looking forward to part 2.
Next time. See you everywhere. Gratitude.
Gratitude.
I hope.
I hope.